My name is Layla Mandich, and for this assignment, I'll be discussing the case of Karen Ann Quinlan, a 22-year-old who ingested a mix of drugs and alcohol, suffered two 15-minute periods of interrupted breathing, leaving her in a chronic vegetative state without any cognitive function. Quinlan was placed on a respirator without any hope of recovery. She was left with only primitive reflexive function, such as moving, reacting to light, sound, and noxious stimuli, and blinking. This basic functioning is enough to exclude her from the definition of brain dead. However, no cognitive function was detectable. In that state, it was clear she was in pain, as she would grimace and cry out at times. She was emaciated, with severely rigid and deformed joints. Her father, who was proven to be of good character without ulterior motive, petitioned the court to appoint him as his daughter's guardian with the intent to end all extraordinary medical procedures. It was well known that this would result in death, though the timeline was unclear. Unfortunately, the court denied her father guardianship, instead continuing the medical procedures. This case, though emotionally difficult, is not ethically difficult. It was known that the patient had expressed a, quote, distaste for continuance of life by extraordinary medical procedures. It was known that she had no cognitive function. It was known she was suffering. It was known her father was of good character, making an educated, rational opinion. Despite all of this, the court failed to protect this patient and chose to prolong her suffering indefinitely. What is our responsibility to our patients? To cure, to treat, to ease suffering. In the case of Quinlan, continuing the respirator does none of these things. Attempts to wean her off had failed. She was being sustained by invasive medical procedures, including the respirator and a feeding tube. Every human deserves a right to a natural death if no other medical treatments exist to cure. Terminating the respirator is not the same as euthanasia. Allowing someone who has no hope of recovery and is suffering to die naturally is not killing them. By following the principle of utilitarianism, allowing Quinlan to die naturally benefits all those involved. She can rest in peace, no longer suffering. Her father no longer needs to watch his daughter painfully deteriorate. The healthcare team no longer needs to continue care that essentially only prolongs her pain. The community can use those resources on another patient who might recover. That being said, the essence of this case is ultimately one of deontological nature. Whether she is alive or not, whether she falls under the technical definition of brain dead or not, that's not the question. She has the same right, just as a patient riddled with cancer has, to terminate medical procedures and have a natural death. She also has the right for her father to be placed as her guardian and act as such. When their relationship is known to be close, his intentions are known to be ethical and in compliance with their own religious views and without any other motives.